Welcome to GameBreakers. My name's Thomas. I am here with Diamond, David, and Allison, and we are playing some D&D again. This is a Bard's Tale episode. I'm not caught up on the editing, so we're somewhere in the 40s, but maybe late 30s, but pushing 50. We've been at this for over a year.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's fun. I'm glad.
On that scale, these characters have gone through their paces and are now at the point where, when we last left our intrepid heroes, they had bought their way in to a Djinn's celebratory feast. Seems like a nightly thing, but it's still an opulent affair. There are crowds of strange and exotic creatures, from a breathtakingly majestic Kirin to some shrouded, sort of shady figure surrounded in darkness and wrapped completely in cloth and maybe some leather. And everything in between, all presided over by Nawadi Modizamem. Names in this episode are going to kill me. Nawadi Modizamem, the provender of the feast. We've heard several titles on the way in. I don't know if anybody took note. You guys started to make some friends by the end of last episode. Stan had chatted up an Azer, a bronze-skinned fire dwarf that's on fire. ClickClack had gone and wallflowered with the other wallfloweriest person at the party, who happened in this case to be about a 12-foot construct, a sentient construct that had very brief but impactful conversation. And Struana, Hardjaw, our titular bard, has chatted up the ambassador for an Arakostra kingdom out in the plane of air. Got well into his good graces and began to get some gossip on the rest of the court. Also got the courtly pro tip that if you go too much longer without introducing yourself to the host, you don't want to insult the host. And that is about where we closed. Anything I missed? Anything I didn't cover? All right, then we'll jump right into... Anybody want to get the camera back first? Spotlight for grabs. Spotlight for grabs. It's zooming in.
Well,
who's gonna get it?
It's Stan and I were standing next to each other, and we're gonna go grab a ClickClack.
Okay.
I'm trying to get Stan to let go of a bottle for a minute. That's what I remember. Is that other people's memory?
Right. This is about the time that traditionally dwarves would start betting on drinking and arm wrestling. So if you don't get him out by about now, he's going to be locked down there for a little while.
Yep.
The Azer points at you and makes a challenging gesture, and it's like, "You'll be back. You're going to be back."
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Just you wait.
But first, let's go grab ClickClack. Who's clicking and clacking?
This better be important.
He waves a servant over and pulls over 2 more drinks, and then just watches you go. And goes back to chatting with some nameless NPC.
All right, so scoot across the party to ClickClack. Okay,
Right.
we
Next
need
to-
to. Yes.
Look at it.
It's got a cone for a face.
I'm pretty sure it can hear us. Hi, nice to
It
meet
just
you.
nods.
I'm talking to Pyramid Head at a genie party. This is
D&D.
Like part Pyramid Head, part the puzzle box from Hellraiser.
Right.
Man, I have one of those somewhere.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do. I just don't know which room it's in right now. Great thing to lose. So something like it's.
It'll turn up somewhere.
Okay, and so we're, polite niceties to machine thing, like, would you pardon us a moment? I need to speak with my friend, and like, kind of gently but firmly drag the two of them to a center-ish location where we're not next to anyone else immediately. And I'm like, okay.
Actually, not far away from him, because he kind of has a bubble of clear space around him, or it. In all reality, there's just nobody. He's not real chatty, and nobody really wants to be by him. So traffic, it just stays clear. So kind of a corner away from it before traffic has reestablished. You can find a quiet spot, by the edge of the cloud bank.
All right. So a couple of things. We need to greet the party hosts, the Weaver of Voyages, shortly. There seem to be like so there's a Kieran here. Is it Kieran? Did I say that right?
Kieran, yeah. It's they're all made up words.
It seems to me that there are a couple of individuals here whose primary interest is in maintaining a balance, and I wonder if that wouldn't give us a good argument towards asking the genie for a favor in maintaining a balance, because of what we know about how the world would get unbalanced.
Yeah.
Y'all understand what I'm gesturing at?
Yes. Yes. Imploring and find a sense of symmetry and balance.
So, y'all ready to go greet a party host?
Yes.
Yep. I'm in my shiniest armor.
Okay. Let's go do that.
Da 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 da.
Yeah, a little bit of that. We just look like we're walking with fanfare.
All right. The genie sees you approaching, kind of catches your eye again, and is like, yes. It isn't really taking court with anyone at the moment, so just kind of reclines back on the giant cushion of clothes and treasure underneath it. It's fully 9.5 feet tall, dressed in baggy silks, loose vest. It's blue skinned and perfectly muscled.
So formal but friendly greetings of, name, and then the two titles that I did get, the Weaver of Voyages, and then I wrote down half of Cupbearer of, but then you kept talking and I couldn't write the rest of it down, so we're going to pretend I did.
Cupbearer of His Eminence the Savage Gale.
That was it. Yep. Now I'm writing it down. Wrong Gale. That kind of Gale. So, gonna start off formal but friendly, and I got an 11 on my insight check.
Okay. He seems relaxed. He is in the center of his lair, his home turf. There's no threat to him here. He's enjoying himself.
Is there a knowledge check for what would be appropriate to how we go about asking. What do I need to roll?
Oh, just for the etiquettes and
Yeah.
With what you've already described, you're right on. Like you've got his titles. What language?
If it's fun to do Draconic, and that sounds more formal to me, and I don't get to use it that often. So doing that, but also like seeing if anyone notices.
Okay. All right. You approach him. He accepts your introduction. How do you introduce yourself? Oh, well, you address him. Step forward. His vizier is immediately like right at his side. Come. Your names.
All right, you guys, we should have figured out some titles probably. So,
I have
Stan
so many
Smith?
titles.
Paladin of Mordor? No, Morden. David,
I'm offended.
look at that. What's your title? ClickClack. What do we already call you?
We don't have time for me to list all of them.
That's right. So pick one.
I pick my 3 most grandiose gnome descriptions
Okay.
and just rattle them off like I see people do when they give their introductions.
Okay. Breaker of Hyperion Siege.
Yes.
Yep.
And then I am Struana Hardjaw, and there is a title that I've earned from the city that I can't remember the name of, but that's the one, that thing.
Master in the Delta.
That's it.
Right.
Grand.
Bard of Renown. And Bard of Renown. Why not?
Now give me a persuasion to see if you impress him.
Okay. Why persuasion? Why not performance?
Right. And each of you get a point of inspiration for popping off a title real quick.
Okay, so that's an 11
Okay.
also.
He nods along with you.
Mm-hmm.
You do not seem to be from here. Yes?
Absolutely not. I have no idea what gave you that idea.
You're not sunburnt.
Like, looks at my pale skin like, yeah, that's a good giveaway. And she's been in a library for like a month straight, like tastier than I am right now. Because this is me with a little bit of a tan.
Give it time, the sun here will cook you. Ha ha. I
Some
accept
joke
your
about
gift.
being delicious.
It pleases me. Welcome.
Now is the time to ask for etiquette tips.
How did you come by my home?
Oh, so
We came to
so
the desert west.
I am definitely going to tell a story about a short story about saving a water mother and getting a ride on a giant worm.
All right, give me performance.
The nice parts of that story, like not the parts where they don't trust us.
And what language do you think it would be best told in?
I'm really I mean, is he responding well to Draconic?
He's responding in each of your native languages.
This matters for the other people in the room primarily, which is why I'm doing Draconic, because I feel like fewer people are going to be able to understand that, but it seems like everyone understands everything.
Many of them have come knowing that there would be many languages spoken.
Oh.
Right, the folks who knew what kind of party they were coming to.
Doing this in Draconic?
Okay.
So, and then there's a purpose to that. I swear there is.
All
So my performance is an 18.
Okay. There are several heads that turn your way. The vizier sort of nods sagely, and the genie. Well, quite the experience for your first day in the desert.
Quip about how every day is an experience.
So few ride the worms. I hear it is not that exciting. What say you?
The more exciting is absolutely seeing the creature in battle.
Eagles in the Delta are way more exciting.
What he said.
Yes, a foreign land. I've heard of such a place. I've traveled much and talked to many.
Why do I not know how to social right now?
Because you've got a 9-foot blue figure being super cheerful, with the absolute confidence that it could wipe out anybody in this room if it needed to.
I'm just like exuding unnecessary confidence is literally like my job description. So it's just what I'm doing. Totally sure of myself.
You're doing
as much
great.
as I can be. Good. Have you engagement and questioning about like have you said you've traveled much? Have you traveled to the Delta? And I'm at questions and engaging story around when he would have last been there.
There was once a wizard there who got hold of my name and insisted on summoning me for the slightest of things. I outlived this creature.
Empathy and sincere, frustrating, also commentary about how, controlling other sapient beings is not okay.
No, it is
Yeah.
part of my nature. Knowledge of such things is the core of my being. And
Something about...
you travel with a holy man who has sworn his soul to a god. How
Yeah,
different. But you didn't come to speak of philosophy. Unless you did. In which case, and he starts looking around, Akiri will do you nicely.
Not necessarily philosophy, but a little of balance.
Would you say that some are more worthy than others to have you in their service?
Yes.
It's I'm sure having such power is a lot for to people come up with. Are the requests all the same, or or do people spice it up?
Oh, very similar each time. I see that you may be under the impression that I am that sort of genie.
I don't know what kind of genie you are. You were talking about it being in your nature, so. Pardon me if my questions are rude.
I serve and summon when necessary, but I am no wish giver.
Well, that's probably for the best. People never really want what they want.
That is the legend.
Every story, everyone wishes for money, love, or essentially safety, and sometimes safety looks like fame, but there's a reason careful what you wish is such a word that means a common colloquial statement.
It's a lie. Seated by those who can grant wishes to keep the pestering at bay.
I
Fair enough.
Don't tell anyone I told you. Come, drink more. Tell me why you're here.
outside of philosophy, balance. I see that you have. I see some of the folks. It's not quite the right word.
Individuals.
Various people who are at your party. And I wonder if you would be interested in questions of balance.
Not particularly. Some of them, maybe. They are guests and friends and exotic neighbors that are welcome here as neutral ground. But I have no stake in your politics.
Do you have the politics of dragons is another matter, though, I imagine?
No,
No?
not particularly.
We're talking to Q. You realize that, right?
Yeah. No. How do you? I'm trying to remember how to ask exactly that character for a boon, and just like, all right, maybe I can just roll.
Entertainment. Novelty.
Nice. I mean, yes, nice, but I mean,
Well, I don't know who he has a
Very
crush on.
so you're asking me to be Cisco, and I was looking at Picard. Picard usually won by being, lawful good. Cisco just punched him in the face.
Which
Great.
was awesome.
I'm not Picard. Beautiful moment right there in the beginning.
Well, maybe don't punch the genie in the face.
I can punch the genie.
No.
I think we could surprise him in other ways. I think we can, but I could use some help from, the rest of my brain. All right. So, realistically, instead of saying sometimes I say realistically to make it sound like I'm beginning a sentence.
I've edited you a lot. I know this.
Ouch.
I've edited with like 250 hours of you.
That is weirdly intimate.
Maybe. Can we? Is it apparent that Struana is struggling?
You know Struana. Yeah, you know she's she's vamping.
Yeah, how the fuck do I ask this question? I'm gonna get there, but I have to keep moving my mouth to get there.
Diamond, what question are you trying to ask?
Well, I don't know. That's part of the problem. Do we ask him to... We never really figured out what we were going to ask him.
Well,
He's asking you why you're here.
Okay.
Yeah. So why are
We're
we
here to... We're here to try to rebalance the world.
Huh.
Our part of it. And we could use some help.
Sounds lofty.
It's full of absurdities, frankly. My goodness.
Oh, really? Well,
Which parts did we tell him? All right. You know how you can tell, there's a story that exists somewhere, and it's a very serious story, but if you just change the tune of it a little bit and it becomes this silly, absurdist masterpiece?
I will
Like,
take a
can you-
bard's word for it.
No, I'm telling you, Thomas. Thomas,
Oh, yeah, no.
I was wondering about that.
Sorry. That was out of character. Sorry. So essentially that, but with the story of Boronor. Like this. And then he breaks his oath. and then this, and like the whole absurd feeling of like the bad guy for one place is a good guy for another place, and can we just keep him in the desert? You know what I'm saying?
Maybe we don't have to do the boring end of we kill him.
Give
Yeah.
me a performance check to tell.
I want the
to
boring
tell an
end
absurdist
of-
version of that story.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah.
Sure.
She finishes the basic explanation, and I say, and we're supposed to do that, and I have a bow.
If that gets me any bonus, let me know.
I'll give you a point of inspiration for that too. I'm trying to remember to make that a thing, and this is a place where you're gonna rack some up.
So I got a 19.
Okay. You managed to make it quirky and not bitter, and that motherfucker. Are there any inaccuracies you intentionally weave in, or do you keep the facts?
It's frankly truth is stranger than fiction sort of thing.
Okay.
Don't try to lie to a genie.
Right.
Yeah, no.
You are
that
unable
one.
to speak about anything pertaining to the dragon thing, though.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
I'm able to say, here's the things about the dragon that I do say, because these are the facts that I want him to have, so that he has, at this point, captured Doonharrow.
Okay.
That Flumian Weir is like the whole experience, like meeting a dragon and the silliness of that, like, and it's giant, but he's kind of a jerk. You know, and everyone gives him money, and then he just shows up. Like, anyway.
Anytime you're speaking of the dragons, especially the two that are connected, if you've ever had that feeling right before a migraine, the precursor, like there's a hammer about to drop right in the middle of your brain.
I get scintillating rainbows, so I don't actually get the physical thing you're talking about.
Okay.
I get a visual distortion, and it's like, oh, my shit's about to be real fucked up.
Right. Migraine sufferers often get an impending sense of doom right before a migraine. It's like, oh God, it's coming.
But so I'm giving you the parts just to make sure none of them hit, because it's not about that they're connected, but it's like I'm trying to hit stuff around that. Like the Fluman Weir is interested in the engagement between Boronor and Doonharrow, and would like Boronor to just not come back.
Okay.
You know, would like Doonharrow not. If I can I say like, but we all. Yeah, I can't say that Flumian Weir in any way cares about Doonharrow, but I can say that we don't want to kill him either, because the dragons are kind of.
He nods sagely at that part, taps his nose, says, "I know where the dragons sleep." Ha ha ha.
Of course you do. I am not surprised. So, I got a 19 for the performance of that story and trying to explain and this is the landscape, and it's ridiculous, but we need help with this bit.
Well, you don't have an answer, but I admire your problem. Ha 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 ha. Well, there are many here who could offer help. I think that no matter what you find for resources here, without a cunning plan, you are doomed.
I'm gonna join him and laugh,
what an
but I've
amazing
noticed.
doom.
I turn to Struana, and with no sarcasm or irony, I just say, I was afraid of that.
If anyone here could make you a cunning plan, it is Akiri. And he points over his shoulder at the sandy feathered vizier adorned Arakocra, I don't know, I say it both ways.
For those watching at home, he was the person I wanted to approach next, but then it was, nope, you gotta talk to the genie, like, oh, okay. Yes, we do.
He just bows humbly, doesn't say anything when his master refers to him. But his services are mine. We could bargain.
We're usually down for that.
Excellent. But later, I'll give you time to think. Take your time. Are you here all night?
Nowhere else to go.
Ah,
We are, as you say, new to the desert.
indeed. Have you accommodations for the morning storm?
Nope.
I have one of those fortresses.
Oh.
Darren's instant fortress.
My palace itself is a variation on that magic. It is dependable. Yeah. Well, that will be easy then.
Let's go mingle. Yeah. Appropriate statements at the genie.
Go, enjoy yourselves. And as you guys turn away from him, you see that a lot of folks have started to turn and key in on the conversation. Just in general. Several people from the embassy, the Arakocra embassy, were right nearby, like openly listening to your chit chat, and at least one of them is going to report back to the ambassador.
What about well, you can't really tell if the machine's listening or not, I suspect. Kiri is the guy with the mummy band-aids back, and the Gensai, and yeah.
Every time you told a story, and like really like started to perform it up, every performance check you made, he was like right on your peripheral vision.
Who was?
The figure wrapped in cloth. It's almost like he knew exactly where your blind spot was at all times, and was able to keep like right, just like it's hard to look straight at him.
Also, that's not that hard to figure out where someone's blind spot is.
It's true, but as they're moving around and giving a performance, that's a little tricky. Right. What I'm saying is he's proficient in stealth. That's. Oh, and I'm not talking about like your blocked vision blind spot. I'm talking about that place in your eyes where your brain just doesn't record the image. With that, if there's nothing else, he just kind of motions to sort of the next person in line.
All right.
Thank you
And
for your hospitality.
Thank you for enjoying my hospitality. And he greets the next person in another language, or no, you still all hear everything he says in your native language. Okay,
Hey, Stan.
Yeah.
While you're drinking with the fire dwarf,
Yep.
try to like.
Harmless.
Thank you. Try to get maybe favors.
See if we can get any favors.
I'm just saying, betting gold is fun. Betting IOUs is more fun.
How strong does this dwarf look?
literally chiseled.
Can I beat him in an arm wrestling contest?
It's like he was poured into a bronze cast.
Yeah, but I can get up to strength 25.
That is impressive. That is impressive. In your short conversation, he seemed like the character who might go for some feats of strength.
Yeah, I'm just not like I like the guy, but I don't know if I want to owe him a favor.
Yeah, you don't know the sort of thing he wants yet.
I'm just saying that as a general goal. Like, I know you're gonna go drink with him, so why
Yeah.
not try to turn it into our favor?
Right. I feel you.
Totally. As there are hors d'oeuvres going by,
Oh yeah.
I'm eating all of them. Like, there's like 2 of every plate that I'm just bowing on.
In this scene, Struana is eating in every shot. It's
Essentially. Unless I'm singing. In that case, not so much.
very exotic foods. There's a couple of plates that you're waved away from. It's like, oh no, not for
Yeah.
not
It's
for
full of
prime
rock.
material. No.
Poison. So, ClickClack, your cone-faced clockwork friend, what do you know about him? So, I could pretty quickly assess what was going on between Stan and a dwarf made of fire because he's still acting like a dwarf. I'm like, I know what's happening here, but I have no idea what's happening here. We haven't talked about it yet.
You're asking because we need favors from people?
I'm asking because we're in a place full of powerful people, and if we can get the assistance that we need to be able to keep the bad guy in the desert where he's a good guy and not completely unbalance the delta, that'd be cool.
I think he's too big picture to care about that.
Okay. Would you like to talk to someone else in the room, or do you want to follow along with me?
The ambassador on the subject of that giant clockwork fellow did let slip that there was a good chance that that sort of inevitable, he called it, a marut, is a hunter of undead things, and mentioned that undeath is an imbalance in the universe, and there's always eventually an accountant. Death and taxes are not so different.
Okay, so stating that, but also speaking of undead, have you noticed Mummy Guy?
Yes.
No.
No?
Only Struana has seen it.
Oh, no.
You crazy.
Actually, ClickClack, give me a roll. I mean, Stan can give me a roll too. ClickClack has a shot. ClickClack
This
has
is
a
perception?
shot. Yeah.
Okay. Why am I not? Oh, there it is.
I'll do the pity roll. I rolled a natural 1, so I didn't see anything.
I don't know. Was he made of bronze and on fire? Nope. Didn't see it.
27.
Good time to get
27.
a natural 1, hey Stan.
You did get a brief glimpse of this person as Struana was performing, and you were watching with the Marid. While Struana was performing, you saw it very, very subtly kind of work its way stealthily through the crowd to watch, and then you lost track of it again.
If I saw it, I remember it. I have a eidetic memory.
Yep. Keen mind. Well played.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know who that is, but I can't help but wonder if they have something to do with our official enemy.
Hmm.
And if you are able to engage it in conversation or force it to hold still for 2 seconds, that would be pretty great.
Not subtly. I mean, I could trap it, but that might put attention on us.
Fair.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to harm it, just like
As I understand it, that's a party foul.
Yes, injuring other guests of the host, especially if you don't know them, and it's not
Probably
in
not
other
injury,
ways.
but, no.
And if it's not in other ways like appropriate etiquette, for example, if Stan injures the Embermock, Azar?
Azer.
Which one?
Em-
If Stan injures the Azer in a friendly competition, then that would be okay because it would be a friendly competition,
Right.
more or less.
But shooting the wrapped thing and entrapping him in cables is probably frowned upon.
Unless
Yeah.
he attacks us first. Essentially.
Right, but we don't want to do that.
No.
No.
I would not provoke the ninja.
But if you can force him into conversation, literally by if you see him, turn around and go, "Hey there, what's your name?" Like, doesn't have to be necessarily polite. Just do it. Does that make sense?
Right. I saw that person once and I wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, no, I've been seeing him a little bit, but
He's not going to talk to me. He doesn't want me to know he exists.
I know. I'm just saying, if you catch a glimpse of him again, put him straight in your dead center and say, "Hi, what's your name?" Really as loudly as you can, so I can hear you.
Okay. Do you want me to just stay in one place and really look?
If you think that that's the best chance you have of seeing him, but he seems to show up when we're doing, just keep your eyes open.
You sure he wasn't on fire?
I'm sure he was fired.
Okay.
Little desiccated, but not on fire.
How noticeable would it be to people in the room if I moved to the dead center of the room and just stayed there? Is this like enough of a mishmash that it wouldn't stand out, or am I like moving to the center of the dance floor?
It's enough of a mishmash at the center. I mean, it's kind of where all these things are happening. All these crowds are commingling. There is occasionally somebody claps and clears a space for something or another, some performance or juggling or what have you.
Until something like that happens, because I don't want to draw attention.
Okay.
I move to the center of the room, put my goggles on, and picking different directions. I'm looking at nothing and seeing if I catch anything peripherally.
Okay.
I've also told him that it shows that he keeps appearing whenever I'm performing a little bit. So if you hear bagpipes, look that way. At least this is a pattern I seem to have noticed. Okay. So I'm gonna approach the Kieran.
It's a lot
I've been
like that sensation when you first approached Frumyanweir. That sense of just immense awe.
It was gonna be like walking up to a band and saying thank you. Like they've heard that.
It sees you coming. It's mostly just lounging at this point. It's nibbling on an array of fruits.
Well, I don't walk up and greet a thing like, "Hello, you're fantastic."
The keyring kind of lifts its head. It's with its mane. It looks like a mix between a unicorn and a stag. It's got a spiraling antlery horn that is a single horn from the center of its head. Its pelt. It looks like a scaly hide, but there's a very fine pelt around it, and when it catches the light, it just makes the whole thing shimmer and glow. The mane is mixtures of bronze and sunlight. And it's huge. It is about the size of an elephant.
Okay,
It
I
kinda-
want
kind
to
of
roll
like-
a knowledge.
Moves over with its shoulder and turns its neck over towards you and sort of like lays its head. Oh, hello.
So, knowledge history check for some time a Kirin existed in history, doing something, a story about it.
Yeah? I'd give history a run. I mean, there's certain information you'll get from history, yeah.
23.
They are considered on the prime material plane. Whenever they are encountered, they are considered omens of good fortune, signs of good luck. They often will claim a territory, and that inevitably blooms and everything goes well for everybody there forever. Their appearance is an auspicious day. They're known to be powerful as well. Powerful spellcasting abilities.
From a knowledge history, can I get a specific story?
With a 23, you could, yeah.
Okay, so so details of whatever story that is, like.
Okay, I'll let you make it up.
So do Kirin tend to focus more on how many players are there going to be in this story, Thomas? Like, am I looking at a fairy tale that involves a family or a fairy tale that involves the town?
Typically several nations.
Okay.
That
So
is the scope of their territory.
so changing water patterns? Would that be within the scope of their? I'm trying to get like the
Yeah.
bits of the story to actually
They
tell
can
it.
control weather.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So a story from more of the region I'm from then, about a Kirin who changed water patterns and saved whole townships, rather than allowing them to be desiccated and their farmland destroyed. Like, was that you or a friend of yours?
Neither. But still the same. We are all made from the same stuff, after all.
Okay, it's a pointy horse, just we're all Stardust to me. Thanks.
Hippie.
I know you're Stardust, but so is Trash. Like, calm down. Okay. Anyway,
Help some fellow Stardust out, man.
I know. All right, so where is your territory? If that's not impolite to ask. I have no idea what's impertinent.
I don't mind. My territory is not yet mine. I think I might make my home here. I'm new to this side of the veil. I think I could improve this place.
For the record, I found this speaking voice far creepier than anything you've done yet.
Well, now imagine it coming from a beautiful, majestic celestial beast. Is
That-
Besides vanilla.
That voice coming out of a walking Lisa Frank binder.
There's not enough cocaine.
Isn't that always the problem?
It was Mr. Frank's problem.
And solution.
By here, do you mean the deserts and verbal description of the landscape?
I do.
Mhm.
Where is your home?
Describe Delta, describe Hildorf, like the place I'm staying, the place I call home.
Oh, it sounds nice.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's interesting. Some parts of it are not so nice, which is why I'm here.
You are very far away from it.
That's absolutely a fact, but we go where we must for the story.
That is absolutely true. Even I am subject to destiny.
And still you get to choose your home?
Do I? Or is it chosen for me, and I immediately feel as though I'm making choices? Maybe it doesn't matter, as long as the right choice gets made.
How do you know what is the right choice?
Well, the way I know, and the way you know, must be different. Because I could not make the wrong choice.
That's meta. Okay.
Whoa.
Hanging with
No.
elementals and celestial beings is just blowing all your minds all night. What is in this drink?
Man, yeah. Well, like, there's not enough that, like, finish the drink, grab another one, finish it, grab another one. Good thing I'm a dwarf. So, as you're potentially considering this place as your home, can I talk to you about a difficulty that this area seems to be having?
You may.
So, just matching tone is interesting with this particular being, but I'm trying it about the engagement between the people of the sun and the people of the moon, the slavering, and clear that that's not cool, but also undead, but also Boronor, and also he's going to try and unbalance the place that has been so good to me. Identifying that we're at a moral quandary of what do we do, I guess, is part of that.
What?
You do come with difficult problems.
I suspect that's part of being mortal.
What's your best outcome? If you were to find a way to do everything right, what would that look like for you?
I'm being social worked by a curator. This is a magic wand question. I'm real familiar with this question. Okay.
A magic
To have-
wand?
So if you had a magic wand, what would the outcome be? What's the best possible solution? The magic wand question. Anyway.
It's also the Office Space question.
It actually gets used to like really stunning effect in my day job. I love magic wand questions. It's great. Let you goal set.
I see it keeping a lot like a cosmic social worker.
Yeah, Yeah. Yeah. Somebody tweet that. So, Boronor to stay in the desert and continue to support the people of the moon, for the people of the sun to move away from, or for Dunehair to move away from attempting to enslave them, for essentially them to, they don't have to like each other, but to stop fighting one another. And meanwhile, all of them stay there in the desert, and Boronor never comes back to the Delta. Ever, ever, ever. And we get to work on our end on kicking out the jerks making it worse there. Of course, there's Boronor's influence, which as far as I know is increasing the number of undead, so limiting that in some way. Some of the answer I don't have enough data for.
Well, you don't want much.
You asked what the ideal solution would be.
And nowhere in there did I hear anything about profit for you, or power, or favors. And I like that.
Well, to go from that perspective, I appreciate that you like that. But if we're able to pull this off, we end up with a city in our debt. That's not we end up with dragons in our debt. I'm not saying that's necessarily the only factor here, but it would be untruthful to not say, no, I acknowledge that this is part of this. Also, I really like the voice, and I'm going to tell her what I can about the voice.
It is fascinated. Un is riveted by this story.
And these are the people who would be destroyed if Boronor has his way with the Delta. And I just don't want that to happen.
Well, it's noble what you're doing. And I'll try to help if I can. I didn't hear any point in the story you told Modizamem, or in what you've just talked to me about now. I haven't heard about where you rested since you've come to the desert.
Oh, we haven't. We're running on exhaustion.
That won't do. That won't do. When you have a moment, bring your friends to drink with me, and we will make sure you're fresh tomorrow.
Acknowledgement statement. Like, just walk away, like, baffled, like, I don't know if that helped or not.
I do need to ask one thing. Where on your person do you keep the finger of portent?
There's, sort of at this point, I've got, like, a wand holster.
Okay.
In a...
So visible?
Belt. It's like a fanny pack meets belt thing. Made of leather, because I can do that.
Okay. I will make a roll here. My first roll of the evening.
Done.
You know you're having a good session when you can keep your GM from rolling dice. So, as you turn, the Kyrian's eyes, you see, kind of focus, narrow down right in on your hip, and she says, Is that one special?
Asking. It's usually me asking questions I already know the answer to. Yes.
I thought so. But she always looks like, almost like a regular old wand of secrets. We will definitely have more to talk about when you and your friends have time to drink.
Like, polite bowing and
Right. It kind of just nods at you,
Yeah.
gives a little like wicker, and rolls back over and starts munching on fruit again.
back over to ClickClack to see if he saw anything.
Muted.
Did I saw anything?
Did you saw?
Did I saw anything?
Give me a perception test.
Jesus. 25. Hang on. Sorry, I have advantage because we're
Aha!
Yeah, still 25.
You, for a flicker of an instant, see a shadow at the edge of a crowd where
And then I'm dead.
where one of the this seems like a minor Genasi prince is trying to get the attention of the granddaughter of Modizamem, many greats granddaughter of Modizamem, but has summoned up called together servants of his to do an acrobatic performance and in her honor, and this creature, this cloth-wrapped figure, is almost impossibly hidden in just like in between people in the crowd in such a way that nobody really sees it except for you.
I hunter's mark him.
Haha! Is there a resistance test to that?
I don't think they're even aware of it. It just happens.
Okay. Well played, sir. Had a
Thank
feeling
you.
that might come up. And by the end of the performance, it has dropped out of sight again. Although you, it's not quite like a radar. It just gives you advantage on any tests, survival or perception or investigation, to do tracking. But yeah, you marked it.
Right. Okay.
Every time you check up, as the evening progresses, it's lingering near whatever, basically the finest performance of the moment. Whatever is going on, that someone is performing something that is the best going on at the time. It is nearby and holding perfectly still. It seems enraptured by it.
Okay. Is Struana still busy?
Yeah, she's just about to wrap up with the Kirin.
I wait till she's done with her conversation. How far apart are we? Or did you? Oh, you went. You came to find me, didn't you? Right. So I explained that to her, and tell her that I've marked him, so like she can start performing, and then I can like.
Well, that should make it exciting. Let's go see what Stan's doing first, just on the in case. Plus, performing for fire dwarves has always been a thing I wanted to do.
All right. So
I just made that up on the fly, but that would totally be Struana. So.
you approach a table where there's a cleared ring of people, and we will find out what feats of strength are going on right after this break. Thanks everybody for watching. We are going to continue this in a moment after some bio breaks for the team. If you like what we're doing, hit like. If you want to see more of it, hit subscribe. If you want to see it get better, hit Patreon. We'll leave a link in the doobly-doo, and that is how we improve. Thank you for watching, and meanwhile, have a good game.